My name is David Reed. I'm with Nicole
Hello.
and Evie, and we're
Hello.
watching Stargate SG1 509 Between Two Fires. And we're getting a flashy flashback to season one. I had never
Woo.
seen this episode, so I didn't at that point know
Oh.
what was going on. My first,
Yep.
Oh no.
encounter of the Tolan was Pretense. So,
Oh, okay. This episode marks the final appearance of my boo, Garwin Sanford
yep.
as Nareem, and Marie Stillen as well as High Chancellor Travell. And it wraps up their 3 episode story arcs. So Garwin, as we mentioned pre-stream, does appear in Stargate Atlantis as Simon Wallace, and in my headcanon, he was placed under galactic witness protection and given a new identity on Earth.
I love
I've
that
just
this
always had a soft
episode
spot.
Yeah.
is as dreary as it is, and the
Guys, we
raining.
stood
Mm.
right there.
If it was sunny,
hmm
it wouldn't have been as impactful because the sun is setting on the Tolan Empire,
Yeah.
and
That's true. There's so
it's
many,
very atmospheric.
like so much symbolism in this episode.
Yep,
It's crazy.
yep,
We literally stood right there and took a bunch of
we
pics. I love
did.
this.
We did. So this is the academic quadrangle,
Uh huh.
I believe.
That's right.
This episode is the second of 4 writing credits for Ron Wilkerson this season.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually returns for Proving Ground and The Sentinel. And it is directed by William Garrity. So this is his first of 2 episodes this season, and he is back in a few episodes' time for Desperate Measures.
Marie Stillen, I love her.
Yeah. I do like that they invited, the humans of Earth, who like Omark was like so nasty to, but he actually like secretly had a
Yes.
soft spot for them. It's like, oh, what a cutie.
Cutie patootie.
What?
Nothing.
Did you say cutie patootie
I
in
did.
the silly way that I do?
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what
I
you said.
actually thought that the dialogue cut out, and I was like, "Oh no, we've lost David."
That's funny. I love her performance. I would love to get her on Dial the Gate. I've tried, and she.
But she's no longer in the industry, is she?
Yeah, she's just passed. So
Oh, right.
I get it.
Yeah. She's very graceful.
Yes.
Absolutely. You buy that she runs this whole operation.
Yes. So I actually think we were talking about symbolism a second ago. I think it's actually really interesting to see her wearing a hooded cloak, because to me it seems like really symbolic, as if she's like hiding something or is like ashamed of her actions to the point where you can't like see her whole face. Does that make sense? That's like how my mind works.
Yeah. She's
But like
hiding
speaking of
something.
clothes, Tilk is like cutting a figure in those
He
earth clothes.
is.
He
looks
is. He looks
damn
great.
good.
This is true.
I really just love this location.
It's a beautiful spot.
It
It's
really
a stunning
is.
university, it really is.
Yeah, and it's the
Caprica
water
City.
something, the waterfront district in Caprica. What is it called?
The Caprica City, the capital.
It's the yeah, but it's had the district has a name. So
I think you're right. I think it is waterfront.
yeah.
Can't
Oh
remember.
oh oh oh.
Oh, there's some sneaky sleight of
Oh.
hand.
Very good. Staring right at him. Pulled it off.
I wonder if he practiced that over and over again.
It is a bit suspicious that these guys are here with their guns, and it's like, they're following
Yeah.
Nareem around and SG1 around.
It's capital
like,
security, you know. I mean, it's
pretty
normal.
I mean, it's more severe than last time, though. It's
Yep.
a lot.
Absolutely. I love how she adjusts it.
Yeah, so do I.
mean,
So
it's
he's
such a
talking to
good
her.
idea. Just makes it feel more immersive.
Uh-oh.
Oh, delightfully vague.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah. as
Nareem,
always.
you started this. Just
Yeah.
remember
Yeah,
that.
he did. Oh. It's hard to use that as an argument though, when like his entire planet probably perishes in the end.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, this episode, of course, is the last time that we see the Tolans, but they are mentioned later on as having been wiped out in the episodes Failsafe and The Warrior. And Joe Malozzi said that this episode was initially nicknamed Between Two Acts due to some early challenges. After these were resolved and Ron Wilkerson submitted a first draft, there was apparently a humorous incident where a dog urinated on the script during the review session. But despite that rocky start, the joke that the dog wasn't one of the wasn't critical in the script writing, everything came together in the end, apparently. So.
These are the downsides of having dog-friendly offices, which they did.
Exactly.
And John Smith had a dog. I forget who else had a dog, but it was a beautiful lab. I mean, Rick had his dog, so
Yeah.
Australian Shepherd. But yeah, no, this is a Border Collie. Excuse me. For a funeral. I agree. You knew this guy.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is a shame because this is like one of the big leading races in the galaxy.
I know.
Not
One of
fight
our
the good,
greatest
but he helped them.
allies.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Cool shot.
Yeah. Damn, the Tolan like know how to dress.
Yep.
Like, damn.
They're like futuristic and like, it's like interesting.
They're very
I want the
sharp.
Toka to
They
dress
should have
like this.
withheld Peter Wingfield's name
I agree.
Yeah.
because he doesn't really crop up until like 3/4 of the way through the
Sure does.
episode, and I
And
think
it's
it
such
would
a
have
good
been
twist.
way better for first-time viewers if they
That's a
didn't know that he was
contractual thing, though.
involved.
They can't just do that.
Mm.
So they have to
Yeah,
they
I
have to
get
work it
that.
out with the actor's agent sometimes. Like Peter
Yeah.
Williams agreed to save the surprise. Tori Higginson did, in Be All My Sins Remembered. Peter Williams did
Right.
in Joe Lenar's Memories. So I love this room. I love this set.
It's minimalistic,
Uh-huh.
but
I want to age as
has a
gracefully as
vibe.
this woman. She is so beautiful.
yeah, she is
Mhm.
stunning. Yeah. Both sad and happy.
Oh, by the by, we have a gold mothership hanging over our city right now. But anyway,
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my god.
didn't see that one coming.
No,
This
no,
is the
not
first,
at all.
I think this is the first hint of Anubis.
Yes.
It is the first hint of Anubis. They don't mention him by name. He's literally described as the one
Who has
without
no
a
name.
name or
Yeah.
something.
Like
Yeah.
the Voldemort.
Oh, he has a
Stargate.
name. The likes of you must be forbidden to
But
know
he-
it.
Thank you. Yes.
All of a sudden, an exchange.
She's technically correct.
This is so good.
Mm-mm.
Go on.
Mm.
So what was the Goa'ulds like end game with this? Were they just hoping to buy to
They
sell off
knew that
these...
Tolan had cloaking technology, had phased shift technology, and they wanted to use it as a weapon.
But like, why have this interaction with SG1 to try and give them some of the cannons which aren't
Don't
effective?
aren't the
Is
Ghoul
that
trying
that's
to
the whole
wipe out
point?
SG1?
Right.
I
By giving
mean,
them
So they wanted to sell them
booby
these
trap
cannons, make them think that they work, then like launch a big attack, and then they realize, at the last possible second that they don't actually work. Is that
from
that
a
was
story
the whole point?
perspective, SG1 need not ever have been involved. Omok could have died.
Right.
The Goa'uld
Yes.
could have said, send the bomb through the iris on Earth and blow him
Mm.
up, and we would have been none the wiser. However, we would have all been dead. So
Yeah,
this is a
true.
nice story beat, to
Okay.
make it work.
Right. Okay.
Give us the illusion that we're getting everything that we wanted from them, and then be like, oh yeah, by the way, they're completely compromised.
Mm.
No, I feel like
love
that this
I
is.
love this exchange
yeah.
here when the light
This is
comes back
brilliant.
on and he changes
Daniel.
his tone.
His delivery is terrible. Like, it's so suspicious.
I think fake acting is so hard to do. So him doing that
As
is
an
so
actor,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that's not easy.
So we
I
have
feel like
established
this
that
was
we have an off-world tritium mine.
this was a
Yes, we
cry for
have.
help from the Tolans in general. Like she obviously doesn't want to actually be any part of this, but she's stuck between a rock and a hard place, or between two fires. And so I feel like she's reaching out to SG1, hoping that they kind of figure it out themselves, even if she doesn't actually like fully commit to saying that. So
Stuck between a rock and a big old space pew pew.
yeah, space pew pew.
It's so strange because she was one of the ones who was like, no, this is the Tolan law. We're
dead
not
against
going to do
it.
it. And now
So
it's like,
shocking.
who are you? Have you been taken over by a Goa'uld?
Yeah, it's really suspicious. Which is great because even us watching this, you know, we've only met her before, like briefly, for like one episode. We were like, oh yeah, no, 2 episodes, and we were like, yeah, she could never be like this, you know. It's brilliant.
Just ignore our fluorescent bulbs in the windows behind us there.
Yeah, I saw that.
They look cool. But I would have been like, can someone please turn those off?
So someone on Reddit said that they enjoyed seeing a society where strong principles are put to the test, like in this episode.
Yeah.
However, they were not fond of the suggestion that the Tolans' commitment to democracy led to their demise. What do you guys think?
I think that's entirely possible.
How did it lead to their demise?
Yeah, in what sense? Well,
Like
the
the
thing is,
Kyria authorized a betrayal of. I mean, they all
Yes.
just chose together. I mean, democracy is mob rule. I mean, democracies historically, for better or for worse, they eventually always fail. So
yeah, which is very sad.
that's
Yeah.
it's just where we're at. So, but at least
is
Nareem
like-
is principled.
Yes, this
Well,
is the
that's
thing.
it, yeah.
They're such a strong race in the galaxy, and they're like one of our earliest allies. So it's really heartbreaking to see them go. I'm pretty devastated. This is about to
Yeah.
happen.
Let's just enjoy them while they're still there.
Absolutely, and I intend to in the next 30 minutes.
I love that. Slap one in Washington, and it only
Yeah.
covers some of the US. Gonna need some more.
I actually couldn't help but noticing the very limited coverage in Western Australia, where I'm from, because it's the biggest state and there's only one, and it's sort of like at the top.
Well, you
Yeah.
put one on the moon, you know. I mean, this will be a lot of this will be
Yeah.
taken care of, but whatever.
Don't you
Yep.
think it's sort of intriguing that it's 38?
Yeah.
You know, like the same number,
Yeah,
like the minutes that the wormhole can stay
Yeah.
open. I just wonder if that was intentional or if it was just a coincidence.
They're just numbers that we like, aren't they?
that's it.
Yeah, maybe.
38. I love the reaction. Yep, it's a fair point.
Ian says, I think in the end it's self-preservation. No matter how good you are, surely you will find a way, like the Nox. Yeah. I mean, the Nox are still kicking around somewhere, you know? That's nice to know.
That's true.
Presumably, yeah.
But there are
Shame they
those who
couldn't
would rather
help.
die than betray their friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
God, what a question. I would say, Evie, David, would you betray your friends or would you rather die? But like, in what scenario?
What kind of question is that?
Yeah, I could never answer it.
Also, I love that Jack said, "Don't blow it." Like that choice of words seems
Right,
right
exactly.
in how things turn out.
I mean, I consider myself a principled person, but, you know, I can always just say that. You know, I have to be seriously
Yeah.
put in a position like that to know for sure. I believe that I
Yeah.
would, though.
I think that nothing's black and white, is it? And you'd have to be really tested in order to do something. I think I'm also pretty
Not much
principled.
is black and white. There are a couple things that are, but not much is.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I love Garwin in this episode. He actually
Yeah.
had
Oh, so
something
do
to
I.
do. So
Yes,
he always
he
called
did.
himself the butler in the previous episode in Pretense.
Oh,
This
the
way.
butler.
This way.
Aw.
Be such a
So,
nice friendly butler.
Yeah. So I was listening back to your interview with him on Dial the Gate, and he mentioned that Amanda Tapping was always very professional. And he said that even after, working together for a couple of seasons, she still wanted to rehearse their scenes together before shooting
Oh.
so that they could work better together and understand each other more. So I thought that was really cool.
There is
That's
there is, sexual tension.
There is, for sure.
I love his tunic.
He looks damn good.
Yeah. I'm assuming you're okay.
Oh yeah, because much like the Tok'ra supposedly, they don't like have secrets. Everything's like available in a public.
It's fairly
database.
so. Yeah.
Public record.
What is going on?
Ian said, if it's not betrayal, if Ford can survive a Wraith ship, surely the Tolan can survive the Gould. I'd like to think that a couple survived and ran off with the Nox, and that was that. But
So
if anyone was going to survive, it was going to be Nareem.
I will share at some point here the conversation that the producers had with Garwin about a Nareem return with a certain snake in his head.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I've heard you mention this before. Yep. But for the people in the room who don't know, I'm looking forward to this again.
Yeah, and if Evie has the information, I will let her share it in a little while.
No, I actually didn't grab that because I wasn't sure if we mentioned it last stream.
Yep.
When we had the Tolan on.
Yep. Well, it's more relevant now because this is the last one.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So. Refresh everyone's memory. Shiny.
A block of mirrors.
Yeah.
Do you people practice being vague?
Yeah. God.
Oh, Lockwatcher just said something emotionally devastating. Was Schrodinger killed during the destruction of Tolana? Was there a point when the cat was both dead and alive?
No.
Oh, jeez. No. So in Stargate Worlds, you visit Tolana in the rubble, and you find Nareem, and he's poking around, and you have to do some missions for Nareem, and one of them is to find Schrodinger. So he's out there running around.
Because the last time we saw him, he was actually coming through on the Earth side, and so in my head canon, he just stayed there.
Yeah, he's wandering around the house somewhere in Nareem's house.
I hope that he's surviving on the local fauna that survived.
Yeah, fallen
cats are very resourceful.
Fauna. Yeah. Fallen humans.
Hmm.
He probably chewed on her.
Yeah.
Nom nom.
Survival at all costs.
Those are cats for you, man.
Yes, they are.
I respect it.
Nice modern house. And it has a lock.
Oh yeah, like for a key.
How dare they?
Oh, David, why would you point that out?
They added in that kind of like that swishing sound, so it sounded like really high tech.
Yep.
Yeah, futuristic.
Was that my voice?
Teal'c's even like, bruh, calm down. Like this isn't,
he kind of just bypasses it completely.
And we can basically do that now.
Yeah. Which is nuts. I like seeing Teal'c and Sam. It's nice. It's cute.
Mm-hmm. So there are no crimes of passion in the Tolan world.
Apparently, yeah.
They probably have very dry literature.
No Romeo and Juliet.
That's a Star Trek reference. If anyone can point it out, I will give them major points.
Okay, so if you pay close attention, you'll see that in the bottom left-hand corner, the topic of discussion is: should earthworms be genetically engineered to live on Tolana?
Is that really it?
Yep, I paused it just to double check.
That's the conversation that the Curia was having?
Apparently, yeah.
That's what they're fussing about? Earthworms? Bottom left?
Yep, bottom left. Should earthworms be genetically engineered?
They
for a
sure
second.
are.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, so without intending to be really crass, the camera angle on Daniel in this scene makes it look like he's doing something kind of private. Like I understand that he's fidgeting because of the high stakes, the
Yeah.
Yes.
negotiation process and everything, but the way that it's filmed is
Yeah.
not doing him any favors.
Yeah.
No. I do like this scene. I like the way that they're just kind of leaning on each other a bit. Like they're
I do
way
like
close
it
on that
too.
rock. And it's really
Yeah.
nice. Like they're broing it up and being like secrets.
It's sure I can't unsee that, Evie. Thanks a lot.
I know. I've seen it like even before I watched it to write my notes. I saw it and it just I don't know, it's weird.
Shimmering Victoria, wasn't that a reference from Voyager summoning to talking to Tuvok? It is Kess and the Doctor. On my world, it's so much simpler. You choose a mate for life. There's no jealousy, no deceit, no betrayal. Your world must have very dry literature.
That is a good quote.
All right. You have been summoned, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty house.
Christopher Judge has great posture.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Oh, their knees are almost touching.
Yeah, I love that she's like, can't deal with my voice. I'd feel the
Yeah,
same. No one
exactly.
likes their own voice. Mm.
Oh
He
my
wanted to say something to her,
God.
and then he got cut
He's
off
gonna
by the front door.
crop up in between, like, yeah, just the symbolism.
I love how he pulled his tunic down. He knew his tunic was riding in the back, and he pulled it down.
I love that it just stays with them at the front door camera, just like bickering. This is the
Yes.
great Stargate chemistry that makes the show so
It
good.
is, yeah.
I love how the Tolan love their giant potted plants.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Those
got a
are
bunch of
big
trees in his
pots.
house.
He sure does.
What on earth? Didn't even think of that. Yeah, this is all very suspicious.
Oh, Tilky, he's found
He's
something.
found a pocket.
A
Of
pocket?
suspicion, a pocket of sus.
A pocket of sus.
Yes. And now Omark is dead.
Yeah.
I'd love to be friends with someone who's like as aggro as Omark because like it means he really has to respect you to like be your friend. Not just being nice.
Omok, I think, just tolerated people.
Yeah, I really love him.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
There's the pocket, the discrepancy.
This is not normal for our society. It's just
No.
not done.
Well, laws sometimes are broken, darling.
Yeah, but he's not used to it. They just
No.
don't do it.
No. So, someone on Reddit found that the Tolan Society values,
Transparency.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially how that their government views lying as like a more serious crime than murder. So they suggested that this perspective would probably make the Earth team feel uncomfortable with thinking about their own governments.
Mm.
Yeah, it's an odd thing to say.
Mm.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Murder mystery on Tulana.
Yeah. An evil conspiracy.
Evil conspiracy.
Evil.
I can't
Can you
believe
have
he
a
came
good
into meeting
conspiracy,
seriously
though?
and said evil. Yeah, exactly. Just a conspiracy, my guy. By the way, seeing General Hammond kick butt on Psyche was something I did not expect.
cool.
I didn't realize he could move that
Oh
good.
yeah, he's
at
in
that
like the very
age.
first episode.
Yeah, he's in the first few. He's like he's doing a lot. So
I remembered
guy.
watching this episode the first time and being surprised, like asking myself, okay, why would they be giving this technology to us? And honestly, I did not consider, well, because they're now useless as an option.
Yeah,
Because we
yeah.
think of them as all powerful, in terms of being able to defend themselves.
this is a twist that I just don't think many people would see coming
That's it.
at all. It's just so unlike them.
It's a very slow moving episode,
Oh, it's
but I
great.
think that makes it all the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an unusual murder mystery.
Darling, there's already lying and manipulating going on. Calm down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've brought us into this, man. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, this is excellent. I love the moral dilemma he's having. He's like, oh, what do I do? Something bad.
Mm.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Darling. Mm.
Oh, dude.
Oh, Teal'c coming in with good
Yep.
They're just
questions.
making him feel. It's like
I
a
feel
bit of
bad
a
that he's
guilt
being like kind of
trip.
berated a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's so stubborn because he can't possibly believe this. It's
Well,
like he must be in
it's
so
just
much
so
pain.
outside of his like perception of his society. His
Yeah.
brain is having to be rewired.
Yeah.
I don't remember his tunic being off, but I guess so.
They took it off earlier when he was
Yeah.
sitting next to Sam.
He
'cause
sure
she took off
did.
that coat.
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie, this is the prettiest he's ever been in the show.
Aw.
Like, he's less creepy this episode, and I like him.
Oh, I don't find him creepy.
I find him very creepy. Yeah, let's have that.
Couple extra.
Free stuff.
God.
Yeah, all violations are being broken today, darling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Have you got like a phaser save?
Yeah.
Is there like a gun save?
I think one was laying on the counter there earlier, if I'm not mistaken. Next to his computer monitor.
Yeah, let's just take a moment to consider like what an awful day Nareem is having. So
Oh
like,
my
he's dealing with the
God.
shock of his friend's murder, discovering that his government has been dishonest with the citizens, and he's on the verge of breaking and entering. On top of that, he's been pressured into illegally providing SG1 with weapons and phase shifting technology. And to cap it all off, Sam found out that he was using her voice to create an AI in his home.
Yep.
Dear oh dear. Urias Tosh, he's a tad creepy, thank you. Just
I
a
mean,
tad.
come on.
I don't know. I like compared to like Orlin, I think his creepiness is a lot.
Oh, you know what?
lower
Actually,
in my mind.
comparatively, yeah, you know what? Great point. I do like these screens.
They are cool. Very subtle.
And it didn't work, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy Anubis
Yep. New shields.
using that
Yeah.
de-ascended knowledge.
Yep.
So someone else on Reddit pointed out that the Tolan are a classic case of a civilization becoming too self-satisfied. So they progressed so far and felt so safe that they stopped creating new things and lost their ability to defend themselves. So when the
yeah.
Gorwald came and the iron cannons didn't work, the Tolan were like unprepared and completely vulnerable. So with no backup plan for such like a critical failure, they would have been sort of like easily defeated. Sadly.
It's the classic arrogance that most species like die of in Stargate. You know, like the Gauls are just so arrogant, we kill them all off. The ancients were quite arrogant, and the Wraith overpowered them in their numbers, and they just couldn't deal with it. It's just like every species is dying off due to arrogance, and it's you know, stay humble, guys.
Listen,
That's the
lessons
moral
to be
story.
learned there.
Yeah, stay humble. I love this. You guys have touched each other's faces. You guys have hugged. You guys have done what you've had to do to save the world. The least you can do is hold hands.
I think it's cute that Tilk presents his hand to Jack.
Yeah.
Calm down. which is kind of unusual compared to like the typical palm up gesture.
Mhm.
But I think it's
Yeah.
like further details that, he's not obviously familiar
Well,
with.
he's wearing the device on his
customs.
arm too, so that maybe
Yeah,
has
so he's
something to do
like
with
maybe gotta hold on to it.
So-
I just love the way that Jack holds his hand properly. He's like, we must hold hands. Yes. He's like,
The interlacing
the interlocking.
fingers. And they
It's like
stay
those
like that
bathroom
for like a
tiles.
good couple of beats.
Well, because Teal'c's not inhibited, by Earth customs like Jack is.
He's like, let go of me. I don't want this.
Oh boy, here we go.
Ian is adamant that the Tolan survived. Look, I really want to.
I hope
yes,
so.
Ian. David is gonna like say some things afterwards that might make you
but
feel
of
better
what
and
would
worse.
have been, but not what happened.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I
So, looks a little like a gold bomb on the inside of there.
was gonna say,
Mm.
looks like Death Star as well.
Cool device.
Lockhart just said this looks like a cafeteria room in a university.
Kind of does.
Yeah, it's got big open space.
Is this their cafeteria?
I would love for it to be their cafeteria. I bet it's a set, but I'd love for that to be the case.
Yeah,
It'll be easy enough to clear out tables and chairs.
that's true.
Yeah. Don't lean on the non-functioning bomb.
So we have a clip coming up from the season 4 episode Chain Reaction for the test of the Naquita enhanced nuclear warhead.
That's a playback from a previous episode.
Mm.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Ian said I called it with Ford, and it was confirmed the other day. I'm hopeful. Yes. Yeah, we're all hopeful. We all want more.
Oh, from the season 6 notes, yeah.
Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming.
No
to
one
that,
in
Ian.
Stargate is ever truly dead.
No,
Mm-mm.
as the season 6 notes showed.
Yeah, exactly. It's like 3 or 4
Yeah, Atlantis season
characters
6
come back
notes.
to life.
If anybody was wondering on Stargate.
He's still optimistic. Listen to him.
The poor guy.
Mm-mm. It's trying to make sense of it.
Yeah. And your people have been got. Oh dear, I don't like it seeing her be evil. I like that she's
Yes,
holding it upright
full
while
of
those guys are holding
security
it
and
sideways.
liars. Yes.
Did you notice some of them hold it up and some of them hold
Yes.
it side? It's like they just choose whichever one they like most.
Fighting stance. Junbi.
Lockwatch said it was a cafeteria at Simon Fraser.
Wow. Okay.
That was a good.
How do
good
you know that?
intuition.
Oh.
Oh, I hate you, die. Please. Isn't he an
Ashamed.
anesthesiologist now?
He is.
Yes.
With glowing eyes.
He's a doctor.
Yeah, William and I were
yeah.
talking about that when we were in Edinburgh the other day, walking around. We were like, yeah, he's an anesthesiologist. We got a whole thing about him. It's great. What a smart dude.
I'd love to have him on the show, but he's busy
Saving people.
anesthetizing people.
Yeah.
That is a mouthful.
It's hard to say.
Oh.
Anesthetizing.
Oh dear. Hello.
Oh, so
Ooh. Oh.
Jack and Tilk with those triangle guns.
Uh-huh,
Looks like
I love
they've
them.
finally
Taken from
found
the,
the right defensive angle.
The little Curia devices. It's a repurposed use of the prop.
Brilliant.
I also just
Oh, it
made a really
is.
bad pun.
Just realized.
Yep,
Sorry, Evie, say the
absolutely.
pun again.
I
missed
just said
it.
they found a good defensive angle.
Ah,
'cause it's a
funny,
triangle.
funny. Yeah, very good. Yeah.
I don't like you sometimes.
He is deliciously bad.
He is. He's so bad. I want to punch him. I hate how attractive he is as well, which makes me even angrier.
So I didn't see the season 5, the season 4 finale at this point. So when I saw this guy, I had not really seen him before.
Yep. You didn't realize the beef.
Yep. Oh, so that makes it okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to be at the end of today, so.
So I was reading comments online and someone expressed their disappointment with the Tolan, pointing out their willingness to arm the Guawul to protect themselves sort of hardly makes them helpful allies. So while this person could see where the Tolan were coming from in earlier episodes, they felt that their stubbornness and isolationism were their downfall. They did feel for Nareem, acknowledging that he was a good person who tried to do the right thing, even when
Yeah.
it meant bending his own rules.
Yep.
What's sad is that these guys aligned themselves with the Nox and sort of had them be
Yeah.
really, they were close allies
That's
with the
true.
Nox, who would never, ever even dream of doing this to
Nope.
save themselves.
No, they'd kill
Much rather
themselves
die.
first. Yep.
Yeah. So it just goes to show that, like, there are different people that would do different extremes, and,
Yeah.
the Tolan, sadly, not all of them are good and equal in that way.
Yank.
In the most not secretive bush ever.
Oh, it is underneath. I think it's underneath a staircase.
Yeah, well, anybody walks right behind Nareem there, they'll get got. Hmm.
You better get the health implants.
Mm. Oh, the
Teal'c's
look on his
ears are ringing.
face.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
mad.
know.
Easy, big fella.
Easy, Chewy.
What I love about this is leading up to, like, the end of the season Anubis stuff. Like, it's slowly building up. Like, the shields thing is
Yes.
going to be a problem for the Asgard later, and that is so cool. Ooh.
This was just a matter of time.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
was.
Someone would put these two things together.
We're just lucky that the bad guys haven't always been able to figure out the phasing technology.
Yeah.
It was the Tolan that had them. If not, we'd be screwed.
Well, I think we just really need to appreciate like how beautifully crafted this episode is. Like, I just
It
think
really
it's
is.
so brilliant that two of the Tolan's most valued technologies, like the cannon and the phase shifting tech, has been merged into like one super hybrid weapon. So I just really think it's satisfying to see like this story arc come full circle like this. Like, that is some really good writing.
Yeah. Your master.
Yeah,
The
so
way they're
this is
trying to
where
mock
he's
not
him.
that
talking
good.
about Anubis.
Yeah, you're not in charge. You wench. I love it. Love it.
Mm.
Oh, he has a name.
Oh,
Here
he
we
has
go.
a name.
So good. Such
So,
a great part
in
of
the
the show.
Gate World podcast, Darren Sumner pointed out that it's the first time this season that we see evidence of this new villain, basically toppling civilizations across the galaxy.
I love Anubis so much because he's the first bad guy that truly, like, scared me.
I think it's just he's just different. Like, he's a Gore Wolves, but
He's also an ascended
2.0.
being.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's
think it was
excellent.
great because kind of the Gore will get a bit boring after a while.
They're just overdressed
Yeah.
ass hats.
So I think it's kind of interesting to see the parallels between like Nareem and say like Jonas Quinn's experiences because like both
Yeah.
of those characters discover
good
that their
boys.
governments are deceiving them
Yeah.
and both face ethical dilemmas brought to light by SG1. I guess the key difference is that Jonas ends up taking refuge on Earth,
Yep.
whereas
That's
Nareem
correct.
stays to fight.
He stays to fight.
Hmm.
Oh, boy.
Yuri's Tosh said Anubis is the first Gould in SG1 that captured the otherworldliness aura that Ra had from the movie. I agree.
Mm.
They're going to make you pull the trigger,
Yeah.
which suggests that there's a Goa'uld presence in our solar system.
Terrible. Oh, 30 minutes and you're going to kill, at this point, was it 7 billion people on Earth?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. 6 billion.
She's having such a hard time.
Yeah, well, doesn't Joseph Faxon say it in the next episode?
Somewhere near around 6 billion, yeah?
Yeah.
That is unsustainable. Yeah, I know. We're almost up to 9 billion.
That's ridiculous. We need to stop. Thanos had the right idea.
Oh, don't say that.
I joke, obviously.
Oh no.
Dear oh dear. Yes.
Good enough.
I love that she's having such a bad time. She's just like, oh,
Yeah.
like, I feel so bad for her.
So in the upcoming scene, keep an eye on the keep an eye for the people who don't seem to be reacting to the huge explosion happening right next to them.
Yep. It's the thing that always frustrates me about, like, when someone fires a gun and no one winces when they're in a closed-in room. When I'm outside and I fire a gun without ear protection, my eyes ring for half an hour. My ears ring for half an hour. It hurts. It is
Being English,
painful.
I've never heard a gunfire.
Yeah. Consider yourself lucky.
Lockhart just said the glass block walls in the background were added to the cafeteria by production. That makes sense.
Yep.
To give a nice wall they could walk through. Yeah, we've got priorities. The apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
The
Wibbly wobbly.
melting.
This is so sad. The episode's almost over, guys. Oh, I hate it. Oh, no.
I
No.
know. He's so calm.
The way he
Here we
he
go.
just doomed his entire race because he refused to doom other people is just
I
like
know.
he just, you know, destroyed his whole world.
Sure did.
Not his own fault, but like he pulled the trigger
Basically.
essentially.
Well, that's why
when he
he feels responsible, so that's why
Yeah.
he hangs around.
What a great shot.
This is such an
Yeah.
amazing ending to an episode.
They're lucky the
I
Stargate
know.
isn't blocked or destroyed.
Well, they're
that would
very
be the first
lucky,
thing I would have
yeah.
targeted.
Oh, Nareem.
So, in the Gatewell podcast, Darren described this final scene as gut-wrenching for
It
Nareem,
really is.
but acknowledged that the Tolan's downfall did play an important role in showing that even the most advanced human race in the local galaxy, with whom we are allied, could be decisively defeated.
Yeah.
And I think, David, in the same podcast, you said you were saddened by the departure of the Tolan and likened it to like the loss of the Nogs.
Yeah,
You
it was a
felt
big
it
deal.
was a significant moment because they were one of the original great allies, and now they're gone.
They're gone.
I just want to say I didn't want to ruin that moment by pointing it out at the time, but I think I saw a kid with an orange backpack who was like, "What's happening?"
Oh no!
Entirely possible.
Because obviously he must
Going
be at
to school.
university just
Yeah.
studying, and then he's like, "I'm in the shot." It looks like that happened for a second.
It's
I think
funny.
he was wearing a hoodie, and he's like, "What?" This is really sad.
It is really sad.
I can't wait for David to give us the nice story when we're done, so that Ian can cheer up.
Yeah. Well,
I'll give
say
it during
this
the
little
end
bit.
credits.
Okay.
Because I'll say this little bit first. So, someone online praised this episode as one of the best in science fiction, noting that it anticipated the dark forest theory 7 years before it was popularized in Lou Cixin's The Three Body Problem.
Yes.
And for those who don't know, the three body problem arises with three objects in space, such as planets or stars, are close enough to significantly influence each other with their gravitational forces. So basically, like, predicting movements is straightforward with two objects, but the introduction of a third object makes the system chaotic and hard to predict. So in context of this episode, it's like the delicate balance of power between Earth, Tolana, and the Goa'uld.
And it's
That's
now
it.
shown on Netflix.
That's a fair point. So, at the 100th episode party, which Garwin Sanford was invited to, several of the higher-ups in the writing department told him, just so you know, we're thinking about bringing Nareem back, but with Chlorel in his head.
Yeah.
There's the shot of Nareem coming through the Stargate, and it's Chlorel.
I would have liked to have seen that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would have been a really interesting
But there wasn't supposed to be a season 6, and by the time they got to season 6, they had moved on from the concept.
And they went over to Sci-Fi Channel from Showtime.
Yep. So, getting all kinds of little tidbits now. Got another one with Ancient Barrett and Samantha Carter. Could have been an episode or a series all on their own. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was Between Two Fires.